Greetings, I'm Rob Chappard.
And I'm the captain.
Guess where we are, Lee? It's Andertons. It's the store that you run alone, of course.
Sorry, yes. So here is a full fun video for you, possibly a bit clickbaity. But what is the best guitar in the store?
Which guitar would rule them all?
So we're going to go and choose a Strat, a Tele, a PRS, a Gibson, and an Ibanez. All expensive.
And this would be the best one of all of them.
Well, it matches your eyes. So let's go and choose the PRS first.
Okay.
Because they're in here.
The good corner.
Yes. So I'm going to guess that the most popular PRS guitar of all is the Custom 24. It's the 24 fret 2 humbucker kind of guitar that I suppose Paul made his name with.
This finish reminds me of the one that got away.
The Eagle.
The modern Eagle.
Well, it's funny you say that because it is a 10 top and it is that colour, faded denim. Although this is the gloss version, which I don't think the
were satin.
modern Eagle was. But hey, so this will be the contender for PRS, setting you back a grand total of 3,799 Imperial credits.
Well, that's nothing in comparison to the Force.
Right, shall we get a Telecaster as well?
Okay, what about that Telecaster?
Yes. The question is, do we go with a maple neck or a rosewood neck Telecaster? What is best?
So
best?
If I just look in this corner and my heart says take one of these in an emergency, I'm immediately drawn, interestingly, to that neck.
Right.
But then that body. So then that gives me a problem.
Well, are you a neck or a body man?
Don't worry, it's already
it's relics.
It's already relics.
One of the other upsides. I'm going to go with this one because I think it just looks stupendous. And this, if I remember rightly, is essentially a copy of Pete's purple Telecaster, but in a different colour.
I've not tried any of the new Gibson range.
Well, Gibson, I mean, who'd have thought? PRS Fender Gibson, obviously. Now, you've got two options when you come to Les Pauls. We either just go with the 60th anniversary 59 Les Paul. So this would be Gibson's kind of, that's the pinnacle almost of the Les Paul as far as they're concerned. Or Andertons do like a take on the vintage Les Paul. So we do like a fat neck 59 or a thin neck 59.
And is that something that you personally do some specs on?
Yeah, we spec them up, and we call it the Blues Master because it's got the sort of the Peter Green kind of switch.
Right.
But to all intents and purposes, it's the same basic guitar. So you've got this one here is the 60th anniversary one, and then all the other ones are variants.
Or we could have the best guitar on this entire wall here.
It would be rude not to include that entirely because I guess 335 is up there. What's this, like a late 50s 335 reissue in a crazy colour? Oh, look, black.
Oh, black.
That's
black
really
headstock.
Weird, isn't it? Anyway, we'll take this
really
because
like
I love. Yeah, we've walked past this about 10 times, going, "What's an excuse to put this in a video?" This might as well be one. But then I'll take that. I'll find a nice Les Paul when I run out of hands. But it'll either be. What do I fancy? It'll either be one of those. I might just take the one that I like the look of the best. Just go totally vain. A vanity selection.
A vanity selection.
So
Isn't that what every guitar selection ever is?
There's one more guitar that I think we should throw in, and that's going contemporary. And I'm going to go and get an Ibanez AZ because that is kind of like Ibanez's top end of. Like a super stratty kind of thing. So it's not crazy modern. But
it's not a signature. It's just a pointy scary.
So
okay, let's go there.
Let's get that. So here we are, standing right next to this Ibanez AZ2204F
Prestige.
Prestige. So if you could just take that off the.
Okay, hold on. Let me just
hang on. Let me just.
They say
I'll try and pick it off like. I don't think that's going to work.
It's like using
your
chopstick.
mind.
Lovely.
It's working, Rob.
Yeah.
Jedi mind trick.
Thanks, Pete. Back in the room.
I'm going to take a stab that somewhere in the region of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to 30,000 pounds worth of guitars here. That's a tidy collection.
That's as much as I need to buy my new car.
Wow, nice car. What are you going for?
Probably, it's not that much.
Volvo,
like a Toyota estate.
Going hybrid?
Yes.
Good man.
Something safe for the planet, safe for my kids to sit in the back of and cry at me.
So,
have we already chosen the two that we like the most?
Rob and I were kind of trying to decide what the best format for this, you know, where it's going to be some massively long jam over these. But I think in the end, we just thought, let's just pick them up. Let's see where we go. These are always the best videos where we don't rehearse anything.
Well, we've migrated to ones that we liked.
Do you think it's weird that we've both gone sparkly colour?
No, I'm loving the sparkly vibe right now.
So I have a sparkly blue 335 with a Bigsby on it.
What you can't see, Lee, is that if I look directly at you, behind you is a sparkly blue thing as well.
Oh yeah.
It's such a nice visage.
And, you know, it's just... Immediately, it just sounds great, big, fat. That was the neck pickup. Both pickups, bridge. I don't have any pedals on. It's just, this is hot enough to drive the amp, even though the amp's pretty clean, you know. And if I add even just a little bit of juice.
Question, Lee. What are those two bits here?
Where the tailpiece would have been. Oh. So it's retro looked to look like it once had a tailpiece on it.
That's
I don't know
funny.
if the tailpiece comes with it and somehow you can retrofit it back again, but that's what they would have been. I'm going to just tell you that the serial number for this guitar isn't even on the back of the headstock. It's here. It's an ES335, which we knew already. 80691. I don't know much about this other than I'm guessing from the dot inlays it's potentially some sort of 58 reissue. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a new one that made to look old. But it looks super cool. And I was instantly attracted to that. What was it that attracted you to that, Rob?
Well, what it was a combination of this beautiful, sparkly, sort of relict finish, the absolutely ridiculously beautiful looking relict neck, and the wood that you can see sort of trying to claw its way through the finish. And to be honest, one of the customers in the store called John was playing it, and I just went, give me that.
Yeah, give me that guitar.
That's mine now. I do wish that the pickguard wasn't so bright. I think it would be nicer in mint or in creamy colours.
I have just thought as well, let's bring this review back somehow on track and let's go. So could you play anything on that guitar?
Yes.
I think that should be the general. Can you?
Totally.
So show me. Come on.
Okay,
then.
so. I mean, I got a drive pedal on, and if I get rid of it, then you get more.
Sounding, I love it.
It's physically stunning. It feels nice to play. You know when a guitar gives back to you? When you're playing that little held note and it's a really enjoyable guitar to play.
Let's jump on to the next ones. The Ibanez, we specifically, or I kind of specifically thought this because it's not of the Wizard school of Ibanez. You know, it's definitely of the sort of more stratty, mainstream kind of feel. But it's made in Japan. It's, you know, top end stuff for Ibanez. And I just thought, you know, what are your... Is there a connection happening, or is it just
there is
like
a connection? No, there is, and it surprised me because at first glance I wasn't like, oh, I really like the look of that guitar. But then I picked it up. The neck feels really nice.
Yeah.
In fact, I think you'd be surprised if you played it.
Yeah.
I think you'd love the feel. Just touch that neck. Touch that neck. Yeah, there you go.
No, I'm just,
See, you were.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost got that Fender Relic kind of vibe to it, hasn't it?
I was almost thinking slightly Music Man-ish.
Oh.
But I love the tuners. The little lock them in and then chop them off. I love that you can see the top through the lacquer and the body. I don't love the way that the plate is not countersunk into the body, but then this is. I find that a little bit. Why this but not that?
One of life's great questions. A bit
Do you
like,
love the
where
fact
did the
that
pyramids
you
come
couldn't?
from?
Look, I can't even rest a Rob Chapman signature gravity pick on that. It won't even let me do it.
What's the point of it then? If you can't eat your dinner off it without it falling off, what's the point of it?
You could get your hand up here and widle-didle.
So what you're really saying is, well, no, not what you're saying. I don't want to put words into your mouth. What I see there is a tool.
Yes.
I see a tool rather than a piece of art.
That's me or the guitar?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the guitar looks like a blue Ibanez. I see something that absolutely is going to do everything that any professional guitar player could want it to do, but does it have a little bit of that sort of
magical
that sort of
specialness?
has it got that Michelangelo kind of vibe? I'm talking about the artist, not the dual neck guitar player.
Let's see what the tonal palette is like. Neck sounds really nice. Drifty out of the tuning.
A little bit drifting of the tuning. It's kind of the first really warm day of the summer we've had today, so the guitars are kind of going, I don't know if I'm going to play ball with you or not, but we'll see.
Let's put it in the middle. Switch obviously engages extra pickupery.
I've no idea. Is it a blow switch? Maybe it's just a blow switch again.
Nah, it can't be blow switch.
Why not? Say, put everything on full and go to the bridge pickup, and if the switch then doesn't do anything...
Yeah, so, Midle. One from everything. Everyone just wants that.
Sound good.
What's working against this is the thousands of people's fingers that have played it in your store, very slightly marring the beauty of these strings.
Probably could have done with a fresh set of strings, you mean?
It could have done with a fresh set of strings, and it could have used a setup because the action is very, very high.
Oh, honestly, you do like a moan, don't you?
No, I like a medium action. It's just it's quite high.
I'll see what we can do with that in a minute. compared to the 335 that I was just playing, much thinner neck, much more compact, lighter guitar. The trem system is much stiffer, but in a way that kind of makes you feel like you could give it a bit of a wobble without lobbing it out of tune, which you don't necessarily get on the Bigsby loaded ones. I think the guitar sounds thinner, but I guess that's probably to be expected with a hollow body guitar. Some of the clean tones are nice, like lots of sustain.
I mean, it's a beautiful guitar, and if you imagine that in a case, and you open the case and you see that, it will look stunning.
Yeah. Again, doesn't sound as ballsy as the 335, but maybe I shouldn't expect it to, you know.
I can see that you're not connecting with that guitar, Lee.
I don't know what it is. I mean, the 335 is so different, and I think because I played that for a bit longer whilst we were just sort of getting the cameras ready and everything like that, it's quite a difficult guitar to jump to from playing that,
right.
Just because of the sort of the sheer girth and power. But I don't, you know, I don't. Well, I'm going to almost put the PRS almost in the sort of Ibanez-y camp, in that again, it's going to appeal to somebody that wants a tool to do a job.
I feel like I should have played that and you should have played this. Which is
when maybe we will.
Yeah. Well, I got a Les Paul. Which one did you choose in the end, Lee?
So I choose a Bluesmaster.
The ones that you guys spec'd.
So essentially, it's the same basic build process as a 59, but on the Bluesmaster you get a choice of either a thin neck, so thin, I say thin, like a 59 style neck, or a slightly girthier neck, more like a 58, which is what that is. And you also get one of the, I think it's that volume control, one of them pops out and puts the neck picker, it's one of the volumes, I think. That's it. It reverse wires the neck pickup to just give you that Peter Green in-betweeny thing. But other than that, it's pretty much the same spec and the same price as just a regular 59.
Well, let's take a listen. Well, it's really nice. It's a great Les Paul.
The best sounding guitar, I just think, a little bit of dirt on an amplifier, like a British rock amplifier, Les Paul into it, just
when
monster.
When these get spec'd, is it a you and Pete thing then, or is it just a you thing? Or?
I think the Bluesmaster thing, I might have come up with an old guitar department manager of ours, because we've been doing the Bluesmaster sort of concept for about 4 years, and then we'll pick the tops. So that potentially could have been me or Pete or anybody picking what we thought were nice tops. The basic concept of the spec, the only thing that we did recently, like in the last 12 months, was give you the option of, because normally the difference between a 58 and a 59 are two things. 58 will be a plainer top, thicker neck, and a bit more affordable. And the 59 will be the flamier top, thinner neck, and a bit more expensive. And we mixed and matched. So we now have the option to have a 58, so get the 58 body, so the plainer, slightly more affordable top, but either with a thick or a thin neck. And likewise, on the 59, you can have the thin or the thick neck.
Very slight touch of kind of age and...
Yeah, I tell you what, I think Pete's input was on the more recent Bluesmasters. I think Pete's changed the pickups to be from his favourite collector's choice. So all the Bluesmasters that are in stock now, not necessarily the ones that we might have sold 2 or 3 years ago, will have the... Is it the Scott Baduka?
Yep.
Yes,
Collector's 46,
the
I think.
Collector's Choice number 46 Scott Baduka. That was the one that Pete thought was the best sounding one ever. So the pickups in those are wound like those.
Right. Well, congratulations to you. Also, I've got to say, nice and neat and tidy around here, which is a nice,
It's a beautiful guitar. I mean, it's 4,000 or 5,000 quid, depending on whether you do the 58 or the 59. Like depending on how flamey you
buy
go.
4 or 5 of them then.
So it's it's expensive, but as soon as you started playing that, the liquid sustain of the gain tone is stellar.
It's nice, and if you're interested, I was stepping on an Antares Overdrive, and I've also got the Fender Treverb, which is a great name for a tremolo reverb pedal.
Yes, because it's got 3 types of reverb in it. Isn't that right, Pete?
Yeah.
Great.
That's exactly right.
Treverb.
And you've also got a Snouse black box, which is super popular at the moment. That's like a Marshall-y kind of...
Yeah, nice.
Anyway... Should we go back to the guitar that started it all?
Yeah.
You know. Really, it's the thinnest one of the lot so far. I've not adjusted any of the knobs and buttons on my amplifier, and I kind of feel like I ought to give this. So I might just kick in a bit of boost from the Dane. That's better. Now I don't own...
Was that a cheeky pick squeal?
Might have been. I didn't do it on purpose. I don't own a nice Telecaster, and every time I play a good one, particularly Pete's purple one, I sort of think to myself, I must get one. But I actually think the Telecaster is a rite of passage, because there's no point buying a Telecaster until you feel as a player you've got something in your fingers to sort of give it a bit of juice. Because there's nothing here. It's like I've got... Two pickups, no trem system, no like super high sustain body, no it is a plank of wood with some strings on it.
Yeah.
And yet, potentially I think because it sort of forces you to, get more out of your fingers and get more out of the guitar, there's a certain appeal to it that I like. And I love the fact as well that it's, of all the guitars that we've got here, if there was a nuclear holocaust and you had to put money on which one was still going to be in tune, it would be this one.
Well, I mean, potentially in a nuclear holocaust, none of them would be in tune.
Well, potentially.
Unless they're in a Tesla.
Yes, maybe. It's just a great sound, isn't it? Oh, more gain.
So here's the thing.
I've got to do the Telecaster thing sooner or later. It's the one glaring hole in my guitar collection.
Well, you know what, Lee? I no longer own a Telecaster. because I had to sell a bunch of guitars to buy a car for my kids.
Oh, man.
So you don't own a Telecaster, I don't own a Telecaster. Let's go Telecaster shopping.
Okay. Yeah, next time. Well, I might need a month or two to save up.
Yeah, I need to save up some money. But you know what would put me off that Telecaster
What?
and this Strat is that the truss adjustment is under the scratch plate.
Well, that's only because they've been designed to be replicas of 50s and
No, I know.
guitars.
I understand why, and it's fine. You can take the plate off and adjust it. But for me, you know, what's wrong with just taking off a little plate and then you adjust the truss? Or here's the truss, or the truss is under there, or the truss is adjust the truss, or adjust under there, or the truss is here or there. Truss. It's easy to get to, whereas that makes it a mission to adjust.
I don't deny
the
that.
truss.
I mean, I would love to know why it was even in the... I mean, I suppose in fairness, from a sheer... If I remember rightly, back in the 50s, before the advent of, you know...
calendars.
Lots of exporting of guitars. I don't, you know, when a guitar was sold and it sort of didn't leave the general vicinity of where it was made, or
no one
the
adjusted the truss rods.
Didn't really, you know, I don't think you had this idea of lots of different heavy gauges of strings and everything. So I almost think it was just like, well, you know, when it was made, they just get it right and then they go, there you are, never touch that again.
Yeah.
Whereas,
No,
of course,
I know you're
nowadays,
right.
I think, you know, you do need to. So
Well,
it's a fair point.
When I was a
fair
kid,
point.
adjusting a truss rod was this huge deal that a master luthier did
Yes.
for you, or it might pop out the fretboard, or you break a neck. And now, of course, I'm like every 10 minutes, I'm like,
Yeah.
Can I just quickly add something to that conversation?
Yes.
I've
Yes.
never touched my Telecaster in the 3 years I've had it.
The truss rod on your telly, yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. But have you ever changed the string gauge heavily?
Yeah, 11s, 10s.
So 10s and 11s, yeah.
Never changed it.
please,
Never-
may I play that one and the PRS?
Well, I think we need to get familiar with guitars we've not tried yet, and then I suppose ultimately come up with some sort of what's the best one, if that's even remotely possible. Oh man, this sounds so good. Oh. See, that's another thing that when I was young, I used to think that unless you had hands like Jeff Beck, you couldn't play a guitar with a big neck.
Oh, right.
And even that, I just think it is just getting used to it, and there is something in guitars with fat necks. It's part of the reason why I wanted to do 59 flame top, but with more of a 58 neck carve, because the fatter necks, I think, have got a sound.
You know what? It's so hot in this room. We've both started perspiring at the same time.
Well, that's fine by me.
We
man.
both look a bit glossy.
I don't think it's the heat. I think it's the sexual tension.
Well, this is the best guitar.
Just amazing, isn't it? Can I just add as well, I absolutely know that there will be some of you watching these videos that don't like relic guitars. So before you waste 30 seconds of your life telling me so in the comments section, I already know. I don't care. Please stop moaning about relics. If you don't like them, just don't
do
buy
you not
one.
like it when people voice their own personal opinion in the comment section, Lee?
No, but what I don't like is where people try to what they say to you is you're wrong because you do like them. And I'm of the camp of like, I don't care if you like them or you
I
don't
like
like
Android
them.
phones and PCs.
Yeah, it's like, that's completely fine because it is subjective. It is your choice. But I don't feel the need to jump into a comment section and go, my preference is X, therefore I'm right and everyone else is wrong.
But you do realise it's a competition.
What is? Just like, anyway.
Possessions are a competition.
Have fun with that, Rory. I like relic comments. I feel the need to jump into a comment section and go, I absolutely like relics. You're wrong. Relic guitars for life. I'm going to play you something that you can noodle over the top of.
All right.
It did sound good. It did sound good.
Well, yeah.
Did you connect?
I did connect. I prefer the Telecaster, but I didn't think I'd ever say that.
Neither did I.
I do love this guitar.
What have you not tried yet then? I've not tried the Strat, you've not tried the 335. I've not tried the Ibanez.
Yeah, you haven't tried the Ibanez.
The Ibanez is the one that
That's definitely your
I'm
cup of tea.
suspecting is the one I'm going to be least in love with, but I might be wrong.
I don't think you'll be wrong. Let me play you some beautiful, soothing blues to have a little noodle over.
Tonally, I think this sounds great. And
If it sounds good with dead strings,
I think it sounds and plays really nice. I guess my issue is I don't like the mother of toilet seat scratch plate, and I just want it bashed up a bit more, I think. Do I want it bashed up? Maybe bashed up is the wrong thing. It's just not, it's just visually not the kind of guitar that I lean towards. I tell you what, there is a version of this in stock of which I probably would lean to more, is an Aztec gold one.
Oh, nice.
Just like a gold metallic, which potentially is, but
nice neck though, huh?
yeah, really nice neck, lovely fretwork, and we shouldn't also remember about half the price of any of the other ones that are here as well, which
It's a really good point.
which is
So how much is that one worth? Do you know?
sub $2,000.
Right.
So there's one more. I've not tried the Strat.
But you
You've
know
not
what,
tried
Lee?
the 335.
It's just not the best guitar at Andertons.
Well, exactly. Well,
But-
not for us anyway.
So I think it's probably time to make a decision.
No.
You've not played the Strat?
and you've not played the 335. Oh, look at this though. I mean, the colour. This is love-hate. This is total Marmite, this colour, isn't it? It's just a Strat straight away, isn't it?
It's, yeah.
give it large with that.
This guitar immediately becomes your best mate, and it's got a little bit of tuning stability that you want to work the gremlins out of, grease the nut, all that kind of stuff, because of the Bigsby and that kind of stuff.
I don't think that guitar's ever going to be the one that stays in tune. It's like you've got everything going against it. The headstock angle, the way the strings move, the Bigsby. You could get it better, maybe some slightly heavier strings, but that's not the point.
It doesn't
matter, is it? Did anybody ever listen to like Chuck Berry and just go, "Oh, he's not quite in tune"? You know,
No.
it's just like he just was duck walking across the stage, slightly out of tune, looking like the coolest dude in town. I like to do that.
It just is a beautiful guitar.
It's wicked looking as well, isn't it?
But for me, it's the Telecaster.
So, okay, let's Desert Island guitar it, because these are the things that I don't like. That's the best one. I know. That's Pete with his purple Telecaster. I don't like relic guitars. So what's the Desert Island guitar thing? Because I've been fortunate to own some really beautiful guitars.
Desert Islands.
And yes, I've been fortunate to own some really beautiful Desert Islands. And if I overplay any of them, I do get a bit bored of them, and I need to go and play something else to sort of just to dispel, to just re-find that enthusiasm.
Right.
So I am for this particular video exercise, I will choose a Desert Island one, but you go first.
Well, obviously, I've just said it's the Telecaster.
So if that was it, you could only ever play one guitar ever again.
From these?
I suppose, yes, from these, yes.
From this selection here, it would be the Telecaster.
Wow.
Second, that Les Paul is stunning piece of work. And then I'm going to say third is that Strat.
Okay, do you want to just do the whole down to number 6?
I'm going to go 4 is the PRS, 5 is this, and 6 is the Ibanez.
Fair enough.
What about you?
It's going to be the Strat is number 1.
Right.
I just think
it's a great Strat
because the Desert Island angle. So I've got 5 different tones.
You could use it as a paddle.
Tones. Yeah, I've got the trem system.
Knock coconuts down from a tree.
So the Desert Island thing is the Strat, and this one in particular, in this colour, I've got a bit of a thing for just like ridiculous colour guitars at the moment. Number 2, just because it's the best sounding one for that one kind of sound that you want, is the Les Paul for me. And then after that, this one, there's such a... where I am right now with my guitar collection as it is, that's the one I want. Because it just looks amazing.
It's for sale at Andertons.
So we got 1, 2, 3, Telecaster in 4th place. I don't know. I like the Ibanez in 5th and the PRS. I suppose in fairness to PRS, it's almost one of those guitar brands that I do get that you're either do you like blondes or brunettes? It's like you're either Les Paul or you're a PRS guy, aren't you? And I'm going to jump in with Les Paul.
A brunette who became a blonde.
Well, there you are. So basically, then she can go back to being a brunette anytime she likes. You've got the best of both worlds then, haven't you?
Best of both worlds.
Well, I married a brunette too. So there we are. What is the best guitar in Andertons today?
What do you think? Which one was the winner for you?
There we are.
It's
and do you know what
one
we
we
should
didn't
do? We will do in the sweeps. We shall make sure that you get to see serial numbers on all these guitars, because if you particularly want to own one from the video and you're quick, just phone the store and they'll
But the sounds
sort
of
you
it,
out.
you've got to pry this one away from Lee's dead cold
I probably
hands.
won't buy that because I get told off if I go and spend another $5,000 on a guitar or whatever that is. But it
Lee,
is wicked.
Don't you get a super special discount from the boss?
Yeah. But there we are. When you said the boss, do you mean my wife? Or
I
do
mean
you
you.
Myself, yeah. Right, anyway, sorry, a long video, but there we are.
Good. Like
Okay.
it. See you later. Bye.
Close.
Close. Very close.
Relic guitars for life.